It's all you can ask for in the town. It's just a loving community.
Hope is a small community. A lot of people who want, their kids to be able to ride the bikes around town and not have to worry about things, being able to walk to school.
The town is kind of like its name. I mean, there's a lot of hope in this town.
Hope is very good. Everybody's happy, everybody's doing good. And then when something tragic happens,
It's bad. It's real bad.
it was just like, oh my God, what is happening? What is going on? This doesn't happen to us. This doesn't happen to us.
The pickup, it sustained a lot of damage. The passenger side was crushed in 2.5 feet, just totally destroyed. And then as soon as we got on the scene, Connor was laying on a stretcher by the time we got there, but totally unconscious.
The day of the accident was Sunday, June 18th. It was Father's Day. Connor, we had just gotten back from our niece's wedding, and Connor and Josie wanted to take our granddaughter Lily kayaking.
We're driving out of Hope, and I had in the back of my mind, like, you gotta be home at 4 o'clock so we get to Buffalo in time. When we get to the intersection, and Josie's like, let's just turn around. So I'm like, all right, yeah, let's just save ourselves arguing.
I remember us stopping and looking. I don't ever remember seeing a car coming. And then the next thing I remember is I was standing down by the pickup and I could see my niece. She was by the tire and I couldn't find Connor. And I saw the other car on the road and I was like, this isn't good.
The only part of the vehicle that was damaged was the passenger side, so both my granddaughter and daughter got ejected through the passenger window. How they did not get killed with a vehicle crushed 2.5 feet in, and Connor on impact flew all the way across the pickup and his head exploded onto the oncoming vehicle.
I remember hearing the sirens and just ambulance coming from this way and just cars stopped and people were looking and I just knew it wasn't good. And then I heard somebody say, Life Light's been called for Connor.
I mostly time just, knelt down on the pavement and held his hand and hang in there, buddy.
The drive from the accident site to the hospital took forever. I could see the clock and it actually, but I felt like it was like the longest 60 miles of my life. The doctors, he said, they knew he had a brain injury. They did an MRI on him and they saw damage. They knew there was damage.
They just said it's real bad, we don't know what's going to happen here. We're going to do everything we can to save him, but and then of course the machines. I've never seen that with somebody I care for, so that was hard.
He kept telling me, I can't see him right now, tomorrow. You can see him later, it'll be fine. Just right now is not a good time. So I asked them, I think multiple times. I was like, is he dead? Do I not have a brother anymore?
The doctors kept saying to us, this is a long road. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And I kept saying, yep, okay, I understand. Kurt and I were in the car, we were driving back, and I was thinking, and I said to him, what does this long road look like? We had no idea at the time.
Will we be caring for him until we die of old age? I didn't know, didn't know. More than wanting to do it, but fear, what are we gonna get? We have 5 children, and all of them have different personalities, but Connor is just the most upbeat, happy-go-lucky kid that I've ever been associated with.
One word that I can think of for Connor is just a goofball. He is a goofball, a loving, jolly, happy goofball.
I think if you said, who's a familiar face of Hope Page, it would definitely be Connor, or who you would hear being referred to as Red, or Red Rooster, or Big Red. And Connor's just known by everybody. If you need somebody to do something silly at a pep rally, he's gonna be the first one to volunteer. You know, he's always up for the challenge.
Connor's kind of the life of the school. And we really would have missed him.
They were changing bedding, whatever, dressings and stuff like that. I was in the waiting room, it's 75 feet away. Hey, Dad, you gotta come here. We really believe he's gonna come out of this. He's starting to come out of it. And the nurses were outside. They were hugging each other. They were hugging me. The janitor lady was hugging me, you know, stuff like that. I told you he's gonna be okay. I told you your son's gonna wake up. And of course, instantly he just cried. And he knelt down and gave him a kiss and a hug. And he goes, hey, Dad, you know, through his trach and stuff like that. You could barely hear it, but he was saying it.
One day they talked to us about long-term rehab, you know, and I'm like, oh, I figured they would do that here, you know? And they're like, no. And so we started looking into places, and we heard about Gillette. Drove down there, checked it out.
I think within 15, 20 minutes, we felt peace with Gillette, you know? Just instantly we felt the peace. Just kept pinching ourselves, hey, if we can get in here, this will be the greatest, you know?
It's got everything you need to rehabilitate. Connor was doing swimming, he was doing weights. They were working with his speech, make sure that comes back, working with his memory, make sure we can get as much of that back as possible. Yeah, it's just a whole comprehensive rehabilitation, and that's kind of what he needed at that time.
We came Tuesday, it started Wednesday. By Saturday, they had him standing and taking steps.
Good. Really good, okay?
It's indescribable because I did not think it would happen this quickly.
He just goes and goes and goes. He's so motivated, doesn't stop. I loved him before, but I love him even more now.
Gillette was the best month of my life, and I'm not lying about that. That's 100% facts.
WGAY 6 reporter Sarah Rudling brings us to Hope, North Dakota, where hundreds are rallying for Connor Flaten's recovery. With a steady line wrapping around the American Legion, the small town of Hope, North Dakota's population has quadrupled today in support of one of their own.
There had to be 1,000 people in town that day. It was amazing. The town just rallied around him.
It was a great day. It was a great day.
It felt pretty good. Friends were waiting at the house for me, and I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready to come home.
It is my pleasure to present the graduating class of 2018.
To know that in less than a year, to be from in a bed in a coma to walking across the stage, look how far you've come, and look how far you'll go.
I keep asking him what he's going to do next year, and he's got many different ideas. I don't think he's settled on one yet, but I think getting the diploma after seeing him in a coma for 20 days is big. It's big for me, and I'll be right there. I have to see this one accomplished.
Connor Walter Flaten.
A year ago after the accident, I could not walk, talk, or do anything by myself. Now I'm graduating from high school. I have a future. Gillette gave me hope.